Hi YouTube, today I want to talk about the Grylls Ultimate Survival Knife. Okay, first let's get the specs out of the way. This knife is 10 inches overall with a 4 3/4 inch clip point blade. It does have a half serration on it, which is good. We'll get more into that later. Overall, the knife with the sheath is 11.2 ounces, so it does have some good weight to it, but for everything that you get, I think it's well worth it. The first thing I like to talk about is the sheath. Now, when you get this sheath, it has almost like a horseshoe at the top that holds the knife in place like this, and that way it won't come out. You have to really pull on it to get it out. I don't like that. It's the same type of sheath that was on the LMF. If you have that knife, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I broke it off for mine. I don't think it should come with it. I think it's a terrible design. Other than that, that's pretty much the only negative I have to say about this knife. But that's something I would like everyone to be aware of. If you want to have quick access to it, anything like that, you might want to consider what I did and just break it off. So when you're looking at the sheath, one of the other things you're going to notice is the closure is Velcro. Now, as I said in one of my previous videos, I do like to look for the snaps to be buttons because they last longer, they're quieter, all that stuff. It's a piece of Velcro. You could always put a button on there if you want to. It's not really a big deal, but that's another thing to consider when you're looking for your survival knife. Okay, if you look on the back, it does have the belt loop that you could put through this way, so you could carry it standard style. It also has the vertical loops, so you could carry it scout style. Okay, on the back of this, the back of the sheath, it has these tips. Okay, and these are air tips. So if you get stuck, if you're stranded, you're in a real survival situation, it gives you some tips here. It gives you the Alpine rescue signal. It says yes or no if you need help, if you need mechanical help, if you have a radio, if you need medical assistance, if you want to tell them do not attempt to land, if you want them to drop you a message, and if you're telling them that you could proceed shortly with where they would want you to go. It also has a little key over here where it tells you the letters that you would spell out on the floor, maybe with some sticks, if you're in sand, whatever you have around you, even with your body, that would say different messages you'd like to convey if there was a plane or a helicopter above you. So that's something good for you to have. It is stitched all the way around, and it's made of like a rubber material, so that's going to be there pretty much for as long as you own the knife. So that's a cool little feature to have. Okay, when you go back to the front of the sheath, you're going to notice that it does come with a fire starter. All right, this is very important. If you're stuck, one of the main things that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find fire. It's going to help you to keep warm. It's going to keep the animals away from you. It's going to be able to cook any food that you have. And also, and probably most importantly, it's going to help you to disinfect your water, right? So you need fire. Fire is life. So you have your fire starter here. You just pull it out. Comes right here. Okay. And you just strike it with the back of your knife. It's very good. I've used this one, as you can see. So I've started a couple fires with it, and it does work. Also, on the lanyard part of this fire starter, there's a whistle. So if you're lost in the woods, maybe you're screaming for help, someone can't hear you, you just blow the whistle, and someone could hear you. They'll come looking for you. Maybe if you're separated, anything like that, that's another thing to come in handy. Okay? Now, if you undo the Velcro that's holding in the sheath, also on the sheath, it's squared at the bottom, which I like being left-handed, right? You could put this knife in either lefty or righty, which is good. That's another feature that I always look for whenever I buy a knife. So you take off this Velcro here, right? You fold it down like this, and what's underneath it? A sharpening stone. Now, it's not the greatest sharpening stone, but it's good for field sharpening. Okay, it's going to help you. And it's another good thing to have. Okay, if you're in a real survival situation, or if you're in camping, anything like that, where you're gone for an extended amount of time, you might not have a stone kit with you. Okay, so you have this, and this is going to get you able to get through the rest of your adventure, or to get back home safely. So that's another good feature to have. You don't notice it, you don't feel it or anything. It's on the back of the sheath, how I just showed you. So it's another very good thing to have. Also, if you pull off this last Velcro, it does fully come apart. So you don't have to have your sheath there while you're trying to sharpen it. You know, you just pull it out. You have it there. Boom. You can sharpen it. Put it back together all without taking the sheath right off of your belt. So that's good features. That's the sheath. Now let's move on to talk about the knife. As you can see, it does have a similar profile to the LMF. The LMF was out before this knife, right? This is in, you see the BG, this is in the Bear Grylls series. It still is made by Gerber, so you know you have that lifetime warranty. If anything happens, if it breaks, anything like that, just send it back to them. They'll fix it or send you a new one. So that's very good. Like I said, it has a 4 3/4 inch blade on it. It's a drop point blade. Okay, it's very sharp. You can see that it also has the partial serration on there. And that's something else that I look for. When I buy a knife, I would rather have the partial serration than all the way, because it's just good for me. I like it. You could cut rope. You know, if you have paracord with you, you could cut that. Branches, pretty much anything. You could use it like a saw in a pinch. You know, so that's another good feature to have. I personally always look for that. Now on the spine of this blade, if you could see it, on that top maybe ½ inch, it's indented a little bit. Barely less than 1/16 of an inch, right? But that part is what you use to strike on your fire starter. You see, that's part of the design. So you just put that on your fire starter, and there you go. See how easy? So that's another good design. I haven't actually seen that on any other knife besides this knife. Okay, I don't know if they invented that part, if Bear Grylls came up with it. Maybe that's just on a knife I haven't seen. But personally, I have not seen that on another knife besides this knife. Okay, if you look at it, the blade itself is also very thick. I would say it's almost a 1/4 inch thick. Okay, so that's going to be good. That's going to help you if you need to pry something open. Okay, if you're splitting logs, splitting branches, anything like that, you know, you could hit it in, smack it with something. You're not going to worry about breaking it, about bending it, nothing like that. Like I said, I like to throw all my straight blade knives. I've thrown this one. I'm not worried about it breaking, you know. And if you do break it, that Gerber warranty, you get the brand new one. So don't worry about it. Just don't tell them you throw it. Tell them you dropped it like I did. All right. Now you also have these 3 holes. You have 2 here, and you have the one in the butt. Now what you could do there is you could use this to lash it to a stick to make a spear. This will help you defend yourself, help you spearfish, for hunting, anything like that. Okay, you could also tie a lanyard through the back if you wanted to help you get a better grip. Okay, the handle itself is good. It's very good rubber. You're not going to drop it. It's a full tang blade. You know, if you're wet, your hands are wet, bloody, dirty, anything like that, you can see all the grooves in the rubber. Okay, you're not going to drop this knife. All right, I do a lot of fishing. I've had my hands soaked, cold, numb, all of that. You hold on good to this knife. You're not going to drop it. All right, and if you look on the butt, you can see that it has the metal there, and you can see how it's all ridged in that checkered pattern. And that's going to help you if you need to hammer things in. You hammer tent spikes in. Maybe you need to break something open, break a window. You know, someone's attacking you, smack them in the face before you turn it over and stab them. You know, however you want to do it, that's what that's for. And that's metal, so that's good. You know. Overall, I would give this knife 5 out of 5 stars. I think everybody should own this knife. If you spend any amount of time in the woods, you should have a survival kit. You should have a survival knife. I think that this knife covers a lot of your bases, being that it does give you the possibility to make fire. It has a whistle, help you get rescued if you need be. The stone that's going to allow you to stay out there longer and keep your knife sharp. Okay? You don't want your knife going dull. You get cut out in the woods, you're going to get infected, anything like that. Keep it sharp. This knife makes it easy to do that. And they're reasonably priced. I've seen them anywhere between $35 and $60. I got this one for about $50. That was when they first came out. Now they're a little bit cheaper. They're around $35, $40 most of the time. I know that's what Amazon's selling them for. If you're interested in that, I do have the link in my description. You can check it out there. You get more information. If you're interested in purchasing it, or any of the Bear Grylls series of knives, most of them are very good. I have a lot of them myself, so I would recommend them. especially seeing how, like I said, they're all backed by Gerber's warranty, so you know you're getting quality. All right. Most of Gerber's knives, they are made in Portland, so American made is always the way to go. And that's pretty much it. This is it, the Bear Grylls Ultimate Survival Knife. Everybody should have one. Like this video, comment, let me know what you guys want to see next. Make sure you subscribe to me, hit the little bell so you get the notifications about all my videos. Click the link in the description for more information.